We're on.
Yeah, but I'm so confused. How come? Hold on, we're going to figure this out.
You guys, we're figuring out new things and stuff.
This is amazing.
Oh, there we go.
Well, I don't know why that's... Okay, Stacy, that doesn't work. Good Tuesday noon.
Good noon and happy Tuesday.
All right, so here we are. You guys, we are trying something completely new. And as you could see, we have no idea what we're doing. And today is supposed to be Q&A day. However, I think that this is a wonderful lesson because how many times have you been scared to do something because you don't know what the outcome is going to be? I don't know how many people can be here live. I have no idea where this is streaming. I don't know any of it.
Can we see any comments?
Right here. There's apparently a chat.
Oh, wow. I mean, I think, can you guys see us? Can you drop a yes if you can see us?
Yeah, they can see us. And the comments are coming in real time. This is amazing. OMG right now, Jen Murphy. I know. You know what, though? I'm not really sure how many people can view this live. It's telling us something about people in a studio and you can only have 10. So I'm not really...
And we can see 10 drop to 9.
So I'm not really sure if many people are going to get to watch this one live, but this is how you figure things out. Okay, so let me see in the chat. Oh, there's 11 people here live, so at least we know that that's a thing. I want to see in the chat, like, for one, we're all going to figure this out, and this is going to be amazing because sometimes you got to pull the rubber band back to shoot the rock out of it. Okay, so, or maybe an analogy you may understand better is pull the arrow back so you can shoot the arrow forward.
I also see some new names. Renit.
There we go. Now you're in the camera.
That's amazing, from the UK.
So today is Q&A day and we're going to get to your questions and it's going to be amazing. But first I want to explain the fear that I had testing out this new thing. Some of you are going to watch this the very first time we're doing this one. And then you're going to watch like 6 months from now and be like, haha, remember when? But greatness can never happen unless you step into the courage to fail.
Oh, write it down. Write it down.
Somebody write it down. I don't know what I just said. Greatness
can never happen unless you're willing to step in
to the
and have the courage to fail.
To fail.
It's true.
We press the button. I just pressing buttons. You guys know how I like to press buttons. Pressing buttons and I'm like, oh, this is going to work, but clearly not. Lisa, now I know what it does. You don't learn unless you fail. My idea was that our faces were going to show up and those cool things were going to be on the screen at the same time. And I failed. Didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Ooh, we can see like reactions.
Ooh. So anyways, I want to encourage you, anybody watching this, if you want greatness, if you want a great result, if you want a great outcome, you have to be willing to step into the courage to fucking fail. Who's watching this on YouTube? Okay, write in the comments, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this from. I want to see where you guys are watching this from because I'm just really curious.
What do you mean by the studio thing didn't work?
The studio thing didn't work. Okay, we got a Facebook, YouTube.
I see some new names.
I can see where you guys are commenting from. Ashley's on YouTube. Sarah Morris is on YouTube. Lots of people from Facebook. I think Stacy dropped the link. Silva's on YouTube Studio. Okay, you guys, we're going to get it right. I'm not really sure if that link brings you like the invite to join us in the studio, which is kind of cool because that means we can bring you on the camera if we want to. Because we can see some of y'all's faces down here.
Uh-huh.
We can see some of y'all's faces.
Gina just turned it off. She's like, you don't want to
Pamela
You can't see
Robinson,
me.
I can see you.
Yep, we can see you.
It's amazing. You guys, we're all learning. It's amazing. And this is the beauty of transparency. So anyways, shall we get to some questions or do we have any more fun facts to share?
No, this is great. Okay.
Awesome. Okie dokie. So where are we at here? First question today
Is from Brandy Coke from
Fetus,
Missouri.
Oh. Every time I read that,
I know.
every time I read that, I read fetus.
Just
It's
like
not
Virginia.
Virginia. All right. Anyways, from Festus,
Missouri.
Missouri.
Okay.
Okay.
Burn Zone 2 uses dumbbells. I'm 6 days in and the Russian swings have caused irritation in my lower back. I realize I'm probably doing something incorrectly. It's my sciatica on the left side that is mostly causing discomfort. Help. Is it a form issue or do I need to decrease weight? Great question.
Yeah.
So for one, you guys, this is one of the reasons why we don't start you with weights from Burn Zone 1. Because the likelihood of you getting closer to a state of injury would be a lot higher. But Brandy, what it sounds like is that your form could definitely use help. And if your sciatica is causing discomfort, then you already have tight sciatica to begin with. It's just, Russian swings are what we consider a ballistic hinge movement. What I would actually recommend to you is you will want to do some regeneration exercises for your sciatica, stretch out your hip flexors for your warm-up, and practice good deadlift form before even going to any ballistic hinge. So like Russian kettlebell swings, American kettlebell swings, these are all ballistic variations of the deadlift. Do your deadlift really, really well. What's probably happening is that you're keeping your weight around the middle of your foot instead of shifting your weight all the way back, and you're not in a fully hinged position.
Oh, we're going to Movement Tuesday.
So what's happening is that you're probably doing like a little bit of stripper pole, right? And you're not really engaged, and then it's
So when you say stripper pole, there's this like arch right here that's like concaved rather than nice and flat. Core is engaged. You don't want to be like right? Like you don't want to be rounded in your back. But you also don't want like the extreme opposite where you got like duck butt going.
Yeah. So what you want is you want to keep the weight on the heels, and that's why it's really good to do just the deadlift before we add any ballistic hinge, because then you're just practicing lowering it down and bringing it back up while keeping your entire backside engaged. In the training world, it's considered the posterior chain, but that's fancy language for just backside, like your entire shoulders, back, butt, and hamstrings. So you want to keep everything engaged, okay? Everything nice and tight, okay, while lowering the weight all the way down without feeling any pain. If at any point in time you feel as if there's already some pain happening, then you need to stop there, okay? So what's happening in the Russian swing is that you're only adding more impact and more force to the deadlift. Now, if your deadlift form is compromised, okay, then when you carry it over to the Russian swing, then you're only going to magnify the effect of what's already happening. So Brandy, what I would recommend for you is, make sure to stay engaged and hone in on doing really good deadlifts before you go to Russian dumbbell swings. And then I would strongly suggest every single day for 5 minutes, grab a lacrosse ball and just do like sciatica release and some hip flexor stretches.
I can advise as well, because I actually had issue with my sciatic nerve because of a disc that I had with a bunch of damaged material, and I had surgery. So, experiment. Like if you're going to do the sciatic release is like grab a lacrosse ball. I sit on that part of my butt. You're like your sciatic nerve. So you have this muscle in your butt and it's called the piriformis. And sometimes like the sciatic nerve can go right through that muscle or it's by that muscle and another muscle. And if they get really tight, it just kind of pinches it, kinks it like a hose. So sometimes adding pressure is good because you can get the intention is to get the muscles to release via the pressure and then release, like pressure and then release pressure gets the muscle to like loosen up. But if it causes more pain, then you just want to do more of like a static stretch, like a pigeon pose kind of stretch, because then you're trying to like elongate so that it's not so bunched up in there, and it can kind of give that nerve a little bit more space. I would say for now, maybe just don't try to do the swings. A lot of people have a hard time doing swings because we're not aware of what our quality of movement is. Do planks and record yourself. And if your back is like, if your belly is swaying toward the floor in a plank, or your butt is going up super high, or your back is arching, keep an eye out for those things, because the idea and in any movement that's really, like Sarit said, ballistic, but it's really like aggressive and powerful, is like to engage your core. You'll imagine like tucking your rib cage into your like hip bone, right? So you don't necessarily want to curl your back, but you're bringing that like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to give like an external cue.
It's like, imagine if there's an imaginary string between your sports bra and your underwear. Like you're trying to bring it close together.
Cinch it down. Just like that. So hopefully that's helpful. But, a lot of people have low back issues of all variations, mostly because you need to strengthen your core and you need to strengthen your glutes in ways that are more safe. So things like glute bridges, planks, side planks, single-legged glute bridges, glute bridge marches, because we sit a lot. So our butt muscles get lengthened and then they're weaker.
Yeah. Also, just an FYI, like if anybody listening to this can relate, you guys do know that we currently offer virtual personal training sessions. And if you're like, you know what, like I'd love somebody to just like, see my movement, give me cues, give me progressions based on what it is that I need, then we highly encourage you to send an email to admin@aaronandsarit.com. And, let's get you set up for, like a couple of sessions so that you can really like not just do workouts, but do workouts in a way that will serve your body better. It's one thing to just do a workout, and it's another thing to have your body get better each and every day. And you don't know what you don't know. Brandy, that's a great question. Start with that. If you want more help, definitely happy to help you with that. You can just reach out to us. Next one.
I'm looking at your guys' comments. I'm trying to figure this out so it goes smoothly for everybody. Okay, next one. Okay. This is from Heather Yarborough.
Middletown, Delaware.
Have you ever done or considered doing a challenge program for teens? I think so much of what you teach and your life experiences would be so beneficial. I have a teen daughter, and I have been trying to incorporate what I was learning through the TKC into my conversations with her, and I thought it would be cool to have a program like this for teens. Or would something like TKC be okay for them to participate in? This is a great question. And the youth, to be honest, is more moldable than an adult. They are they're more easily influenced because they haven't seen as much, heard as much, experienced as much. They don't know as much. They're more willing, they're more open-minded and willing to like hear new things and try new things. They're usually a little bit more courageous until, think about when you were a kid, like you dreamed bigger, most likely up until a certain point. Because often like somebody somewhere, whether it's our parents or a teacher, somebody else that we, look up to or has a position of influence over us, or a kid in school who heard something from their parents or whatever says, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't have that. That's not possible. Stick with what you're good at. Don't quit your day job. All these different things that start to put filters in our minds of like what we can or can't achieve. And so I love the idea of teaching children. And I know that we will. Do we have a current plan for it at this moment? No, but we will, because to improve the future, we need to improve the younger generation. If we want to make a significant impact on the future, the ones who are growing up right now need to be the ones who have the positivity, who have, understand ownership, who understand responsibility, who understand how to really be themselves fully 100%, how to not let the negative influences of other people take away or steal their joy or their courage or their fight to get what they want or chase their dreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely something that we'll incorporate in the future. But there's going to be a couple things on our end that we're going to have to figure out beforehand. The reality is, with regards to whatever is going on in your household, if you're, seeking to inspire a teenager, instead of telling them what to do, just show them how you're doing it, because that's how they will be inspired. Like, for example, the TKC, it's open for it was open for everybody to enroll. However, if they didn't take you up on the offer of joining the TKC, the question is why? Like, that would be the initial gap for us to fill out. And, together as a community, what we're going to need to do a better job in is show up better, because we can say, we can come up with programs, but if no teens will want to join our programs because you are telling them you need to do this, but they don't want to, then where are we going with that? Creating programs is the easy thing. But what we need to figure out is the message in between. And that's what we're working on, making a bigger impact on you guys. Have you guys have more faith in us? Have you guys have more faith in you to show up for you? Because when you do that long enough, consistently enough, your kids will start to get inspired a little bit, whether they're in their 20s, whether they're in their teens, whether they're really young. Because when you just tell somebody you need to do this, think about yourself. You don't really care to do it. You already have all these things going on. Teens have enough going on now more than ever than they ever had before. Like, there's just an extreme amount of distraction.
There's so many social media posts to follow up on.
Yeah. And then it's like, like teachers are telling them to do this, like government is telling them to do this. I'm sure that in your household, you're telling them to do this. I'm not saying that we shouldn't tell them what to do, but when it comes to creating a positive change, it has to come from within them.
We have to ask the right questions.
Right.
And we have to educate.
Right.
And inspire.
So, what we need to do is we need to do this for ourselves so that we are inspiring enough so that they will be more likely to want to follow your footsteps.
Yeah.
Because then they will only have more resistance.
When a kid sees something that they want, they're like, how did you get it? Let me do the same thing you did. Mm-hmm. Which is very even as adults, we think the same thing, right? You go to the gym, you see somebody who's really fit. You see that they're doing these things on that machine. And you're like, oh, they're really fit. I should probably do that thing. Mm-hmm. So then you go over and you start doing the thing, right? And so it's just a matter of being able to educate so that they can start from a younger age, carry that forward and then be able to inspire other people through their own actions too. It's like the domino effect. Mm-hmm. We have a couple of questions in here. Tracy asks, what do you do when you have the DOMS? DOMS stands for delayed onset muscle soreness, or basically, why the hell am I sore the next day after my workout and how do I handle this? Who did Murph yesterday? Who did Murph yesterday?
Yeah, if you did Murph, chances are you're sore today, but when you're sore, that's basically a byproduct of lactic acid that's building up in your muscles as a byproduct of the muscle fibers just breaking down. In order for muscle fibers to generate, to become stronger and, to function better, first they have to break down. That's with anything in life. Something has to break down before it, grows to be bigger, faster, stronger, better. Right. But, to answer your question, lactic acid buildup is not ever really going to go away, because in order for that to go away, that means that you won't be breaking down any muscle tissue, which doesn't really make much sense. But in order for the experience of it to be more tolerant, there's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing is consistency. Look, if you haven't been consistent and you're just starting out, then chances are is that your body will take a way longer time recovering. It's called the supercompensation model. Okay?
Ooh, get sciencey on us.
But if you want to recover faster, you need to just be more consistent. Just like when you do something for, I don't know, let's say if you haven't done it in a while, and then you do it for the first time, like let's say just with like even weight loss, right? Like if you've been eating like shit and then for 1 week you ate clean, that week you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I lost 8 pounds. That's because your body's just getting rid of trash. So consistency is number one. However, there's a couple of other things that you can do. From a physiological standpoint, foam rolling is definitely great. Foam rolling and stretching will help out. Just light movement to flush out the lactic acid will definitely help, because light movement will bring in more oxygen and more nutrients into the cell. Okay. And if you want to increase the flow of nutrients that will get into the cell, well, you want to do some kind of activity that will raise your heart rate. Now, I don't mean overdoing it again or going all out, but just, some kind of constant movement. Okay. What Erin and I do on a regular basis is we take the extreme endurance tablets or the essential tablets. Those are proven lactic acid buffer tablets. So it's like, imagine if there was a product that could help to slow down the rate at which lactic acid builds up when you work out. Wouldn't you want to take it so you'll be less sore, so that you can go harder, longer, like, and whatnot? Absolutely. So Erin and I do that.
To recover muscles, just like your body needs to recharge, you sleep. Like when you are sleeping, your muscles are recovering. It's got to repair. It's like you torn the duct tape off, or you've created a scab. Like it needs to heal. It needs to repair. How do you do that? Good, proper nutrition, micronutrients, good proteins, sleep, body tissue work, things like that. The supplement that we take is extremely helpful. Just at repairing, like regenerating the cells at a faster rate, but those are all different variations of things that help with muscle soreness. And, like if you do it right, you'll be sore. It's part of the game.
Yep. No pain, no gain.
Watch. What watch do you wear?
Oh, that's
when
cool.
training? You see? What watch do you wear when training? I wear straight up just like a Nixon. It's actually, I think, a surf watch. When we lived in California, I thought I would know how to use it. Just like a regular watch. Sri doesn't even wear a watch.
I don't wear one.
People get stuck up on like how many calories did it? Some of these watches are really great for like accountability, if that's what you use it for. But some of them can be like a huge, like, you can create a codependent relationship with your watch. Mm-hmm. So be mindful, because some people get extremely obsessive and you actually end up hurting yourself mentally more than helping yourself. Because you're like, I got to get in all these steps. And like, if you feel like a terrible person and your identity lies in how many calories you burned or how many steps you got, then it can create issues. So be mindful when wearing watches. They can be great for accountability though. Are they accurate? I don't know. But if you're just using it for like a basic information that you're curious about, great. I used to have an Apple Watch. Then it just buzzed on my wrist way too much. And some people do the Fitbits or the Garmin or whatnot.
There's the Whoop.
There's the Whoop. We used
to have, but I mean,
if Whoop was a watch, that would be cool.
Maybe they have that feature now. I don't know.
I would totally want that. Let's see if there's any more questions rolling in here.
I don't think so.
I know the Whoop needs to be a watch, is what I'm saying. Well, you guys, this is going to conclude today's episode of Espresso with Erin and Sarit. We have, I believe, some announcements. Or
yes,
something.
You guys, this week, starting today until Saturday, we are hosting a community builder challenge, you guys. There will be 2 winners for this. Second place is going to get a sample box from X Endurance. We're going to gift that to you. First place is going to get an In Motion box. We're going to gift it to you. You guys hear us say this all the time, that we're on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. And we want to make an impact on more people. So, that being said, we need your help. We know that if you're part of the ENS army, then, you are our people, and only together we'll be able to reach more people. So, whoever it is that who is in your circle and your family at work, your friends, whatever, who are not yet a part of this community, and you find value from this community, we want to reward you for taking your precious time to invite more people to join this community. We know what kind of impact we're making. Look, you guys, we want to be able to start reaching out to teens. We want to be able to start reaching out to kids, but we got to stay in the step in the step we're in. Just like we tell you guys, stay in the step you're in. We also have to stay in the step we're in. But in order for us to be able to make a bigger impact, it has to start from within. So we want to reward those of you guys who, are serious about bringing in more people to this community with some incredible X-Endurance products that we take and love, because we know that your time is valuable. So that being said, all you got to do is, you already know our Facebook group, Erin and Suri. Just go ahead and invite whoever you find in your heart to be, a good fit for this community.
If they need to hear something that we said, if something that we said, you're like, oh, wow, and you thought of somebody, invite them, share it with them just to watch. The more people we can help, the better. We're on a massive mission, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it together.
Yeah.
You're part of the army. We're recruiting you.
Yeah. So between now and Saturday at 5 p.m., the Community Builder Challenge will go on, and the winners will be announced next Tuesday.
When you invite them to the Facebook group page, if you're watching this on, Stacy, can you drop the link for the Facebook page? If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not on our Facebook page, head over to our Facebook page. And then when your friends join, tell them in the section where it says, how did you find us? Tell them to put your name. Put your name, because that's how we're going to determine the winner. So if they don't put your name, them don't count. Yeah. But they do count. So I want them to count. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That being said, you guys, appreciate you for tuning in today. We hope that you found some value. Now go bring your friends so that you can get your hands on some cool X-Endurance products between now and tomorrow at noon. We hope that you have an amazing day, and thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.